what's going on, man? It is your girl, Tampa Mystic, and we are checking in live from the Hype 87.3 out here at ATL. I heard we have a special guest checking in all the way from Shreveport. She goes by the name of, if I get it wrong, don't charge it to the game. NekiDra, aka Mone LaVee.
My name is Mone LaVee, aka NekiDra CEO, all the way from Shreveport, Louisiana, a city this small, but you have people with hearts this big. We do everything, and when you get the chance to come, you have to come because you won't want to leave.
What was your journey like, your childhood like growing up out there?
I didn't get the chance to grow up out there. I was born there, but I left when I was 2.
Okay.
Raised in Texas and Atlanta. I left Atlanta when I was 21. So I finished high school here at Morrow High School in Clayton County.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, when I came to Atlanta, that's when I got most of my heart and soul.
Yeah.
In Texas, and because my mom moved around so much, I never had that foundation.
Right.
But when I moved here and I opened my eyes and I saw, I changed my whole outfit the next day.
I know that's right.
My God. Their spirits are just free here, and I love it. It helped me become who I am, Atlanta.
100%.
So big ups to Atlanta.
Yeah, girl, I got to experience the real Freaknik. Me and my homegirl drove up here in 95 and 96, you know what I'm saying? We might be on that documentary, look out.
Okay.
But that's what made me fall in love with the culture of the city, because there's a lot of unity here. And you don't find that in a lot of cities. A lot of cities, there's separation between people hating on each other, and there's some of that here. But for the most part, there's a lot of unity here. I love the culture.
When I was here and I went back home to Shreveport, they looked up to me differently because I was here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Not knowing that was my hometown the whole entire time.
Yeah.
But believe it, since I'm back in Shreveport now, it's actually kind of harder because I'm home now. So I'm home with family and friends. But Atlanta definitely gave me culture.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Do you think you'll ever come back out here to live?
Yes, I think about it all the time.
Really?
Even if I don't come back here to live permanently,
Yeah.
I'm going to definitely have a house here or something so I can spend time here and invest time here, because I think it's like the new Hollywood.
It absolutely is. Tyler Perry got a whole compound out here. You know what I'm saying? I've yet to get there because you can't just pull up, unfortunately. Like, you got to know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. Come on, Tyler, man, give us a tour.
Yeah.
Something. Definitely.
Yes. When I first started doing music, because you get caught up in doing what everybody else is doing, you following that trend. The older I got, I wanted to look. I have a message now in my music. I got a message in my music. So now I have a message in my music, and I have so much to say, and I don't want people to look at my image. I don't want them to look at who I am, what I do in my life. I just want them to listen to what I'm saying in my music, kind of like they did with Michael Jackson,
Yes.
Prince, Tina Marie, Rick James, all of the greats.
Yes.
It was the words. And believe it or not, that's the only music that you really can go back to and get those kind of words.
I agree. It's had so much substance to it.
That's the word, substance.
Substance.
I am definitely a writer.
Okay.
Phone, pen to paper. If I'm in the kitchen, I can find an envelope. I'm pen to envelope.
Yeah.
I can find a receipt.
I know that's right.
As long as I have some white.
Yeah. To write on and
I'm writing it. You got me? So, and that's inspiration for myself. Sometimes, I feel like the dream is dying, but I walk around the house and I might find something with some lyrics on it, and it gives me inspiration. Like, wow, I guess I'm not giving up because I just wrote this last week.
I know that's right.
You get me? Yes.
Definitely. Is there a certain place that it usually comes to you the most often, or is it kind of random?
Yes, I love that question. I don't know if it was an interview a long time ago where Michael Jackson, he was doing an interview and they were saying, he was like, I have to go do this song because if I don't do this song, God's going to give it to Prince. And believe it or not, I could be riding, I could be anywhere, I can hear it. I can hear it. I'll get on my phone and I can just say,
Like a voice memo.
and I go and I put the words to it.
Yes.
And this is the killer. If I do not release it, I hear it on the radio or somebody else do the vision, and I go to them and I say, y'all listen to this. Then because that's how God works. So it's not about you. You have to do it. The mission, if the universe and God give it to you, you have to put it out.
Yes.
Or to give it to somebody else.
Absolutely. What is the most personal song that you've written and released that people can go listen to?
I'm going to say, honestly, I have not released it yet.
Okay, so it's still in the vault waiting to come out.
Yes, I'm not gonna even script it.
Okay.
I don't have it yet.
Okay, understood. You had say no more. So it's safe to say that your most personal record to date is coming soon.
Yes, because I'm still finding myself.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to learn how to be vulnerable as an artist.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
Yes.
It is difficult because the world is crazy.
Yes.
So we don't want to let people in too much.
No.
But you can let them know as much as you want them to know.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Without letting them get a little piece,
You better know it.
but not giving them too much, because you have to save some for yourself.
Yes.
When you're not doing music and you have a little me time, free time, little woo-side time, what do you enjoy doing?
People call me weird, or they say, "What is wrong with you?"
Guess what? I love being weird.
Yes. I can go sit outside for hours, or I can just sit in one place for hours. People can ask me questions, or if I turn off my brain, it's off.
Yeah.
And that's what I call leaving that place, because sometimes I have to, because if I don't turn off there, I can't hear anything. That makes sense?
Absolutely it does.
So sometimes I have to turn off, and I become slow to people, but I'm really not. I'm just tapping into that other thing that's more important than this thing.
And we have to have that, because mental health is real.
It is.
It's so real, and a lot of people don't tap into that. I like to talk about it often because I get anxiety through the roof sometimes and don't even know why necessarily.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So having that me time is so important. You like being outside, you like nature and stuff like
I
that?
love it.
Me too.
I was outside one day and birds really do sing.
Yes.
A tune like I heard a bird say, and I tell people and they argue me down. But when people say birds sing, birds sing. Birds sing.
They're extremely intelligent. Extremely. People say bird brain, but they are truly intelligent animals.
Yes.
Definitely. I'm with you. Do you like to hike or anything like that?
I've never been hiking.
You should go sometime. I feel so much better afterwards. It's like almost a tension release.
Wow.
Try it sometime.
I'm gonna have to try it.
Please, y'all heard that, right? You got that, right? She go. I need some footage.
I'm going hiking.
Get you some hiking
Tampa,
shoes.
Mister told me. This world we live in is all about love.
Yes.
Okay, we're all seeking it in any aspect, any direction. I don't care what you're doing. You're seeking love.
Yes.
But when you find that love, okay, you're gonna have the imperfections within it, the hard times. But are you going to be able to recognize that it is love? Not me saying, I love you.
Right.
But you showing me you love me.
Actions.
Sticking in there with me. Hanging in there with me. Hard, bad times, all that kind of stuff. So, and that's another thing with my music. I want to express love. And in my albums and EPs along the way in my journey, you're going to hear me talk about love a lot.
Yeah.
Love, love, love. I want to promote it a lot. And I think this is my first song that I want to put out there to show people about love. When you find that perfect person, you hold on to them.
Yes.
And you embrace it.
Absolutely. What do you personally feel like you can do to change the narrative of what's going on in the world as an artist who has a voice and a platform?
That one word you said, become more vulnerable.
Mm.
The more vulnerable I become, I'll be able to express my story, my struggles, and express what I've been through and show how love healed me.
Mm.
And through the love that healed me, I think people are gonna say, dang, if love healed her, love can definitely heal me. Big ups to Mumo in Kenya, overseas, doing big things. I want to shout him out because he produced the beat, sent it to me,
Yes.
put the words on it, sent it back to him, he put his words on it. He mixed and mastered it. The things that you can do with people overseas that you don't know. That's the power.
That is facts. You don't have to be in the same room as them.
Whenever you see me on interviews, I want them to, I'm trying to give knowledge.
Yeah,
okay?
of course.
So, I was in a group from the age of 16 to 21-ish.
Yeah.
Did great things together. We were here in Atlanta, tearing up the streets of Atlanta. Jermaine Dupri. We did the Play with Wanda Smith and Friends with Drew Hill, Keith Sweat, Silk.
Wow.
And our colorful hair, believe it or not, in that play was a skit because we were laughed at in Atlanta for having that colorful hair back then. So in that skit, she used it as a part of the skit. So we were like a comedy scene. A group came out, OMG Girls.
Yeah.
Took the whole entire image. So no matter where we went, people would say, introduce us as the OMG Girls. But at that time, we were starving artists. We didn't have the education. We didn't have things in place. We didn't have trademarks. And that is what is important. That is what I want people to know. As an artist, you're out here and you're working hard and you're making music and you're doing all these things, but if you don't have the business side in place, you'll lose everything.
That's right.
It'll be null and void. It'll be neither here nor there. Nothing will matter. And you'll just be starting all over from scratch. You got what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And when I went out and got my education, I started rapping about it a little more, and I saw my fans, they didn't respond to me the same. I think they thought that I was trying to say I was better than them or go get your education to be somebody, but that is not what I was saying.
Right.
I didn't use my education to be who I am. I want them to know that. I only had one job my whole entire life, which was a janitor. And I quit and I became a graphic designer. And to this day, that's the only job that I have pursued, and I still do to this day. And I make people happy. And if you ask anybody and say, Nikki, I make my people happy with what I do. And it keeps me alive.
If we start something and we do not trademark it and get our paperwork in place, we don't own it technically.
There you go.
You could come along and be like, oh, I like what she's doing. You do it now, boom, you trademark it, you own it.
That's how
it's just a lesson learned.
Business.
Yeah, it's business. At the end of the day, we can't take it personal. It's all business, because what you said has probably been happening since the dawn of
You
time.
better know it, and don't ever feel like you got it all together. Don't feel like you're here, because sometimes you can be here.
Yes.
And there's always somebody that can do it a little bit better.
That's right. People gotta humble themselves.
Yes.
What do you feel like is something that you could still work on within yourself as a music artist?
One of the first things as an artist, and I feel like a lot of us as an artist, is working on yourself personally, believing in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, all you're going to do is believe in what everybody else tell you about yourself. Hey, that don't sound good. That don't look right. You need to change this. You need to go that direction. You're not going to make it until 10 years. You're going to hear it. But if you believe in yourself, it's like humbly believe in yourself to where you can accept criticism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you need that one thing, I think, to get there. And I think that's the thing that I have been lacking my entire life. But hearing what people say and believing it.
Yes.
So I'm trying to get stronger at that one thing. And when I look in the mirror and what I see, that is it. And I'm going to walk in that.
I know that's right. You're walking your purpose.
That's it.
100%.
So I want to humble myself there to receive that. And I want to receive everything that God and the universe have for me.
There you go. There you go.
Because I can't do it by myself. And I used to think that I could. So now a lot of people say, do this, or you're not living your dream, or you're taking too long, or you slow. I tell them, no, I just walk different. I used to do this, invest here, and do that, and then you get tired. And you'll take a 10-year break because you're broke. Or you just lose inspiration. But when you sit back and you listen, God will tell you what moves to make.
No.
Kind of like how I'm sitting here with you right now. I love your energy. I've been following you for a while.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And I said, hey, I want to go and do this with her.
Yeah. This is a judgment-free zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm far from perfect. I've made a lot of, mistakes in my life, and I've learned from them. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you wholeheartedly for saying that. That means a lot to me.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. And you got an international project you're working on.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
I went and got my college degree in international business.
I love that.
So it just gave me a little bit more. And believe it or not, I've had this degree since 2019.
Okay.
College debt with it, and didn't know what to do with it. And I kept walking. And you do steps, and as I did it, I say, wow, I'm doing international business.
Yeah.
It's totally different. They're humble because they don't have the opportunities. They lack the tools and the resources.
Right.
So they're willing to work with you because they're humble in that way. Because they're so humble, they're willing to say, hey, help me promote my dream in America. And I'm willing to give you my dream and my soul. And that's what I love about it. So I reached out to people in Kenya, Nigeria, West Africa. And I'm doing songs with them. And I said, hey, why not just instead of dropping? I had an album I've been trying to drop for 3 years. My sister's like, you didn't drop that album, you didn't drop that album. It wasn't the one.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this one. And and I love it so much because it's not about me. It's gonna be about them.
It's bigger than you.
I'm gonna promote them. So big ups to Kenya, big ups to Nigeria, big ups to West Africa. I love y'all so much, and thank you so much for trusting me and believing in me to do this for y'all.
You were able to open yourself up, be extremely humble, and reach out to people that could have said, heck no, I don't know know you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
to me, that speaks a lot about your character, and it shows your vulnerability. I love that.
It's kind of funny because, you know, for instance, like the song that I gave you, the verse that he has on there, I said, Moo, send me your lyrics. And exactly what he sounds like he's saying on that song, those are the lyrics that he sent to me.
Wow.
And I thought, hey, he was going to send me English lyrics.
Yeah.
But he did not.
I know. Listen, but that's dope.
It is dope.
You kept it true.
Yes.
Yourself.
And I put it on Google, and Google translated it so crazy. And my sister was like, you know what, just put it on it as is. Give America a taste of something different.
I agree.
So I put it on it as is.
Because I love a lot of American music, but I think a lot of international music just feels good. It's that love that we were talking about. Like, that's why Afrobeats is doing so well right now. That's why historically, you know, reggae music has done so well, because they project positivity and love through their music. It's fun.
It is.
You can throw a song on like that in any venue and people, young, old, black, white, are going to love it.
Yes. There you go.
That's key. That's what's important. So right now, are you more focused on doing features with international artists?
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Makes total sense. Production wise, who are some of the producers you work with on the project?
Right now I'm working with Moo. He's awesome. He mix and master, does beat. I'm working with Coolie B Gang. He's in West Africa. I'm working with Jojo Javi. He's in Nigeria. Big up Jojo Javi. He's awesome. Jojo, he does graphic design. He's working on an album cover right now. Off the chain. Big ups to you guys.
Are you gonna visit?
Yes. So
where's gonna be first?
You know, it's crazy. I have a passport and everything, but do you know my biggest fear? Needles. And I've heard you need 10 shots to leave to go over to Kenya and Africa.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yep.
So there's certain like
that's my biggest hope.
almost like vaccines per se that you
Yeah.
have to get before you go over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that part either.
But I think I'm gonna do it. But yeah, that's my biggest hold up right now.
Yeah.
RealUNREAL Productions. RealUNREAL Productions. When you see RealUNREAL Productions, you're gonna see her with her camera. She does everything for the city. Any event popping, she's gonna be there with her camera. I got a lot of stuff. I can talk for days, but I'm hooking up with DJ XL.
Oh, shout out DJ XL. I love her No Homo
Yes.
podcast. Yes.
1KP Son. I don't know if you heard 1KP Son. He does gospel rap here in the city.
Okay.
He's awesome. I have a video shoot I'm doing with him. DJ Scruggs. I'm doing something for him for 103.7.
Oh.
So what I do is, when we come to the city, since it's so far away, we try to line up as much as we can do, get it done, then get out.
Make it make sense.
And support people. What makes me happy in life.
Yeah.
Making other people happy.
Mm.
And you know, I used to be bittersweet about it. And I hated the trait because I got called weak for it, or you're too sweet, or you're too easy. But that thing I was telling you about earlier, when I look in the mirror, I like that thing about me.
Yes.
Because it makes me feel good. If I see you happy and I'm happy, that's good for me.
Yes.
And that's how, if I have $4 and you have 2, I'm gonna give you 1, so we both have 3. We're gonna walk out the store with the same thing.
I love that.
The feelings can be the same.
Yeah.
And that's what it's, and believe it or not, everything I'm doing is more for other people than me. My family, my fans, the world. My circle is just so small.
Yeah.
You understand? Because what happens is it just takes time, energy, and you just don't want it. So my advice is, and I think that's what Kanye meant about it's lonely at the top.
Yes.
Because you're going to have to leave certain mindsets, personalities, and certain people behind. Because as you grow, if people are not growing with you mentally,
Yes.
not monetarily,
Yes.
it's just not going to work.
That is facts. That's a great answer. That was the perfect answer. You are absolutely right. All my day ones are back home. I've met some good people here. I have. Shout out to my business partner and his DJ Baby Dre and some other people. Outside of that, I don't fool with a lot of people.
That's it.
Because energy can be transferred.
Yes.
It can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it can transfer from me to you, so you have to be mindful of the energy and the people you keep around you.
That's another thing. It's not about the money. It's all about who you know. Money can only take you so far. When you're out of money, you're out of money. You're never out of your connects. You're never out of your relationships. Your relationships can take you way further than your money.
Period. Like you said, it ain't gonna last because the money gonna run out. Building those solid relationships are stronger than anything that money can ever buy.
You better know it.
100%, man. Man, have you thought about doing any type of like motivational speaking or anything? Because I'm so serious because I feel like you could be someone that people could like talk to and really get that motivation from.
I'm trying to find my position in myself now in the music industry.
Yeah.
I'm not just an artist anymore. because I do so many things.
Yeah.
I want to be a motivational speaker. I want to do that for a lot of artists, and I find myself when I do these interviews, I came here for that, to motivational speak versus give an interview.
Yeah.
I've done interviews 1,000 times. I've done so many interviews. Now I just want to talk to y'all and give y'all what I've got and what I have learned, and hopefully y'all can do more with it than I can, because it's all about the youth now.
Yes.
And not me. So I can only be kind of like a role model or a representation at this age, and that's what I kind of want to do.
Have you thought about starting your own podcast?
No.
You have a great voice, a lot of knowledge. You're very positive. People need to hear that, because going back to what I said a few minutes ago, mental health is very real. There are people out here suffering because they feel like nobody loves them, nobody cares about them. I feel like you could be that voice for a lot of people. You should definitely do it.
Yeah, I heard it here first.
I know that's right. Podcast coming soon.
So she gets the credit.
And it could be called Love So Fire.
Oh my. Tampa Mystic said it first. And shout out to everybody that kept me working Shreveport, Louisiana, because I wasn't raised there. So I've just moved there, and because y'all give me so much love and y'all recognize the love that I'm going to give back to y'all, I appreciate that.
All right, before we get to the song, I gotta know.
We're in the country, baby, okay? So when I say country, my favorite dish is cooking some pinto beans and pig feet.
I know that's right. I like pig's feet. Yo, I'm dead. Maybe a restaurant one day.
Maybe.
You never know.
Never.
Listen, they say the sky's the limit, but I think it goes beyond that.
You can follow me on my Instagram, Mone LaVee, MoneLavee. Or you can follow me on Facebook at NekiDra CEO, NekiDra CEO. Shout out to Momo and Kenya, and shout out to those lyrics you sent me. Oh my God, but I love them. And you know what? Just like I hear it. I thought that's what you were saying.
You're super, super dope. All right, go ahead and introduce the record. We'll check it out.
Mone LaVee featuring Momo and Kenya. Here's Love So Fire with Tampa Mystic.
Hey, let's go.
Even with a love so private, we can never hide.
The voice of an angel right there.